All right, I believe we are live. Hello, everyone, potentially everyone watching, those few people who watch my channel. This is Bflummy. I'm here with the ragtag bunch again. We are playing a little bit of D&D 5e, finishing our 3-shot, as I called it. This is the last session of the Preserved Tears story arc. I think we're going to throw it out to the players real quick to introduce themselves, and then after that, I'll probably do a quick recap, and we'll just jump right in and see what the heck happens. So going from my left to right, I don't know how it is for everyone else, but we'll start with Brad.
Hey everyone, I'm Brad. I'm playing Dan, the half-elven draconic sorcerer who has a thirst for knowledge. I don't have anything to plug, but I will say, Micheal, I checked out your channel because I recently sort of, got into that sort of psychoanalyzing sort of stuff, and I just thought I'll check it out. And I am an INFJ.
Ah, there you go, sir. There you go. Sorry, I'm just all like fanboying over. I actually wasn't psychoanalyzing you, so I had no idea. But that makes a lot of sense from just a little bit, so I can totally see that. That is neat. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't hijack your. But
That's right. I'm done, so I'll pass it on to whoever's next.
Whoever's next, yeah. Well, thank you, appreciate that.
All right. Well, next down the line is Brad. So, not Brad, Dave. Sorry. Yeah, let's go back to Brad again. Dave, sorry.
Tonight I'll be playing Brad without the accent. Just kidding. Hey, folks. I'm Dave with Mornblade Gaming, and I'm happy to be back with these jokers and looking forward to the game tonight. I will be playing Tally, the halfling druid, also known as the animal savior, if you will. And yeah, we're going to save these cat people.
All right. Next down the line is the philosopher himself, Micheal.
Hi, I'm Micheal Pierce. I have a channel where I talk about personality theory and also some other things like philosophy, and most recently I did a video that's kind of about Star Wars. Well, I mean, it's obviously about Star Wars, but it's more about like aesthetics. And anyway, I do that, and I am here again. I've been a friend of Brigham for a while, and it's been a pleasure playing with these fellows, like a real pleasure. And I guess I should tell you my character. As a reminder, I play Zurum, who is an elf rogue who has a very good running tally of going to get the party killed at some point, but he hasn't succeeded yet. Anyway, that's his deal. His deal. I see Yvonne nodding there.
All right, Yvonne.
I'm Yvonne, and I will be playing Lanera Feeblefoot, and I am a halfling monk, and I am the one keeping the tick marks for Zurum to make sure that he doesn't get us killed, and maybe take it out of his hide afterwards if we survive this. So look forward to, unfortunately, the last game. So. But hopefully it'll be a really good one that we don't all die in. So,
Who says you all dying is a bad game? Anyways, so for a brief recap, our hardy bunch of adventurers took on a task from a clan of catfolk under the leadership of an individual called Ty Turan to find a cure for his wife. His wife had been poisoned. They determined the poison was from a creature called a Mortem Walker. Traveling up north towards the towards a caravan way station, they met an old friend of Robert. Not Robert, an old friend of Zurum, Robert. My thoughts are getting ahead of myself. And after getting the information of where to find the Mortem Walker from him, they proceeded to rob all his stuff, let his animals loose into the wilderness, and continue on their merry way. They reached ruins where the Mortem Walker was supposed to be. After doing some investigation and befriending a giant scorpion, they encountered the Mortem Walker, in which a fight ensued. Scorpion died, and the Mortem Walker was taken down. After the Mortem Walker's death, they investigated the room a little bit further, found a scroll case, a peculiar scroll case, which was empty. Which they used to fill and contain the poisonous tears of this Mortem Walker. And the current state, they had just rested, and they were awoken by the sounds of someone approaching, or a group of someone's approaching. And we last left them off. They were preparing to kill sort of whatever was about to come their way when they heard voices talking, in which they recognized was in catfolk or tabaxi. And that is where we're going to pick up. So you guys are sort of hiding around this door, the entranceway into this room. And you recognize the sounds of tabaxi speaking.
Can I jump in?
User, yeah, sure, go for it.
So, okay, so I'm just imagining there's, you know, how we said last time, there's sort of the doorway, and then that sort of comes into the room where the Mortem Walker is. I'm sort of guessing there's two of us on each side of the doorway, sort of back up against the wall. And Versailles would sort of like look at everybody, and he would just whisper to them, and he would just say, "Follow my lead." And then he's going to cast Alter Self on himself. He's basically going to transform himself to look like what would only be assumed as a Mortem Walker cultist or a cult leader. So he's going to have like black robes with red trim, the same color of the Mortem Walker's eyes, and just a fully enclosed black helm, very basic, just sort of flat surfaced helm, fully enclosed, no eye slot, just a pattern around where the eyes would be of the Mortem Walker's eye pattern. So I don't know if they've got 8 eyes or whatever it is.
Yeah, they have like 8.
Yeah, so basically his helm basically looks like a representation of the Mortem Walker's head. Maybe with like the teeth, like jagged teeth, inscriptions on the mouthpiece as well. And then he just stands in the doorway, just waiting for them to come around the corner.
So yeah, Versailles says, "Follow my lead," and turns into this kind of terrifying-esque appearance of what you can only assume would be someone who would worship this dead creature behind you. Versailles, as you're standing in the doorway, you see a few of these like kind of wary tabaxi. You can hear them, Zurum, and you can understand that they sound like they're clearing rooms. You know, it's kind of like a SWAT team kind of would. You know, there's a few who come into a room, check the corners. They say, you know, there's nothing in here. You know, it's safe to come in, and then they move on to the next one. Well, you Versailles see a few of them sort of look into this room, and then they immediately just kind of tilt back, like they're trying not to be noticed by you, and you can hear them whispering to each other. They sound pretty wary of you.
How many did you say there were?
You saw 2. You
Okay.
can't see any more than that, but you assume there's a few more based on the noises you're hearing.
Did I see any of them, or am I just hearing them?
You're just hearing them at the moment. You're kind of behind the door. You can
Right.
peek out and maybe see one sort of stick his head out and look at Zurum. Not Zurum.
So they're able to see us.
They're able to see Versailles right now because he is standing,
Right.
looking
Oh,
like
right,
this
right.
Mortem Walker cultist,
Right.
in the middle of the hallway.
And have they said anything that would be really of interest, or is it all just kind of banter?
It's all kind of they're saying that they've seen someone kind of maybe passing it down a chain, but it's a little quiet, and nothing too important comes up.
Well, I'll let Versailles do his thing, because I don't know what his plan is right now. So I am going to do everything in my power to not be seen.
All right. So Versailles, as you're standing there, you see a very large catfolk come into view. He is not trying to hide behind any of the doors like his slightly smaller comrades. He's got a huge greatsword belted onto the back of onto his back, and he kind of ducks to not catch his head on the top of the doorway that he's coming through, and he kind of stands across the hallway from you, and he's kind of looking you over. It's kind of like a Mexican standoff right now, where it's who's going to talk first, and he's looking you up and down. Would you like to do anything?
Yeah, so how far away from me is he, sorry?
He's maybe 20, 15 feet.
Can I do something while this is going on?
Sure.
I'd like to turn into a giant wolf spider, which is a medium size. It's quarter.
Yeah.
So it is within my range. And then I basically crawl up next to him and then just start crawling up his leg and up onto or next to him. Because of medium size, he couldn't necessarily hold me. So
yeah.
But I'm just going to start walking around him and then start walking up the wall next to him. Just selling it even further.
Yeah, the large catfolk immediately turns his attention to this large spider kind of crawling around, and he does look moderately concerned by that.
Give me 1 sec. I'm just checking my spell real quick. Give me 1 sec. I just want to see if I can do something.
I'd like to cast Befriend for Life. The target now obeys your every command and adores you.
Friends with permanency on it?
Friends with permanency on it. Adores you, calls you flattering names all the time.
What were you going to say, Michael?
Never mind. I was gonna see if I could use alter self on the other two with using my sorcery points to twin spell it, but it can't target. I can't target.
Bummer.
So that's all right. But I will cast minor illusion on myself to change my voice.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave, are you sort of crawling behind? Are you behind me, or are you crawling up the wall or on the roof or something?
I'm just kind of walking around with the behavior of what I would think a spider, what I understand a spider. I mean, we did just watch some, and so sort of probably walking around you and then stop for a second, and then kind of wait for if you're going to say something to me, and then if you don't, then I start calling it the wall or something.
And with minor illusion, am I only able to have one at a time?
I don't know. Let me see real quick. Is it concentration? Do you know?
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I just read it. It says you can only, it ends if you cast it as an action or cast the spell again. Never mind.
Okay.
I was trying to be tricky with it again and give the other two like a mask or something, but I can only use it at one doing one thing. So.
Only one at a time.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe you can convince him to leave, and he won't have to see the others.
So I'm just gonna stand there in the doorway, just with my arms sort of by my side, like I guess like a Western, like a standoff, like hands by my side, just staying still, not saying anything. And then if he comes closer, I'll sort of tilt my head sideways, sort of creepily, I guess, like a horror movie sort of thing.
Yeah, he takes a step forward for a second, and you do this kind of, and he immediately takes that foot back. You know, obviously pretty wary of how oddly you're acting and the giant spider crawling up the wall. And he says to you in common, "Stranger, you are not one that I have seen here before.
I'm going to start stepping forward and acting like I'm not aggressively, but just smelling him, trying to make him uncomfortable too, but again, not aggressively.
He definitely does look wary of you, but and his, like, for a second his hand like came up to his sword, but then when you don't like lunge at him or anything, he just curls his, you know, furry clawed knuckles and brings his hand back down. You're gonna say, Dave? Not Dave, Brad. Why do I confuse you two? You're so different.
So the other Tabaxi haven't come in there yet?
The other ones haven't come in. They're staying in the other room.
Are they too scared?
Yeah, they seem pretty wary of you. But this guy, even though he is cautious of this spider, he seems to have a bit more bravery about him.
Is he still like 20 feet away from me?
Yeah, he hasn't come any closer to you.
I'm just gonna stand in the doorway until he comes closer. Basically, I'm guarding the room where the Morton Walker is, sort of thing. So unless he comes towards me, I'm not moving, because I want to maintain that sort of that presence of just
that eerie vibe,
the area sort of thing. Yeah.
And he waits patiently for a response from you. And when you don't respond, he continues talking. "Perhaps you can help me, and I will be on my way. I am looking for a couple of thieves that have come into these ruins."
Yvonne, do you want to do that? Do you want to? You can go for it if you want.
I haven't been looking at the chat, so I have no idea what's happening over there.
I'll wait for an opportune time, but
Okay.
I'll probably do it.
Oh, you could do it as the spider. That'd be cool. Anyway, okay. So, what? Oh, sorry. What did the guy say? You're looking for 2 thieves.
Yeah, he said he'd get out of your hair if because he asked you. He's looking for some thieves that came into the ruins.
Okay. Busse would just stand there still, but he'd put his head back to normal, and he would slowly walk forward. Dave, are you basically right next to this guy now? Still?
Yeah, I'm right next to him, and just like it's almost like I would imagine, and I'm not very familiar with how a spider would act, but I would imagine Tally is a little more familiar than I am, and he's probably, like sniffing him, so to speak, and like familiarizing himself with him, and then I'm going to say, as you're walking forward, and I say, in his mind, I say, "You brought more food?"
And
you're saying that to the cat folk.
Yeah. And he reaches up to that huge sword on his back, and then he reaches further past it, and he pulls off of his back this like huge slab of some kind of meat and just kind of drops it next to you. You have a very strange spider.
And I just kind of sniff it for a second and then just kind of look at him like, we must disarm and eat together. Come, let's rest. And I just bring up my 2 forepaws and like start putting the 2 legs.
And are you still approaching Brad?
I've sort of walked to probably about 10 feet away from him at the moment. And when I stop, after Mr. Spider here is eating his meat, I'll sort of Busse would stop, stand in that same sort of position with his hands by his side, and using minor illusion to change his voice. He would speak to the tabaxi, and he would just say, "Have you come to drain my daughter of her tears?"
And he definitely gives you an odd look. He's not quite sure what to make of you. No, I have come for some thieves. They were reported coming into these ruins, looking for my scroll.
Your scroll?
Yes, my scroll.
I'm going to pick up the piece of meat and then walk behind him and start ushering him forward into the room.
And as you do that, Busse would sort of step sideways to like sort of clear the path for him, and then he would say, "Follow me," and start slowly walking back towards the doorway.
Yeah, and this large catfolk, he turns back to his men that are supposedly in the room behind him, barks some kind of order that Userum recognize as, "Wait here, I'll be back in a second." And he follows you to the oddest pair of people he did not imagine to find in this place, back into the room.
Am I?
So he's in the room now?
Yeah, he's coming with you into the room, yeah.
Is it inevitable that he is going to see me, or is there any way for me to keep myself, or like at least for as long as possible, so that they don't see me?
You and Lanera and Zerm, you guys can make stealth checks if you want to try to hide in the room.
I would like to. Just a second.
All right. So, cover in the room probably consists of, there's that pedestal, which would be a nice place to hide behind, particularly for you, Yvonne, because of your shorter height, fit pretty easily behind that. And then there's also, you have a giant carcass in the room, which is a perfect thing to hide behind. So you, Zerm, go and duck behind that. Let me just roll his perception real quick, see what he gets.
I'm imagining that as he comes walking into the room, I'm like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And I run as fast as I can in the shadows and just leap over this dead spider. And I'm probably going to land inside of its liver or something. Since I desperately try to get behind it. But what did you roll? Sorry.
You two that are hiding, you can make insight checks real quick for me. I'm just going to make you guys roll all the rolls because I feel like it. But yeah, he comes into the room and he does see, probably first thing besides creepy spider and creepy cult guy, there is this corpse in the room. And he looks definitely startled by this, is probably the right way to put it. It's maybe not super obvious that this thing is dead, but after a quick look, you can oh boy, you can tell that he realizes that this thing has been deceased. Yvonne and Michael, you guys think you you guys think you hid yourself pretty well.
Good to know.
Well, of course. I am the monk of a shadow.
It would be
if it's possible to whisper just as a gag, I'm like, can I see that checklist? I can't remember how many times you'd put down on your your sheet that I was going to get you all killed. Were you actually doing that in the game, or was that more of like a meta joke?
No, I have it. It's I have to figure out where I put it though, but I do have one. I physically have one, and Lanera is like, every time you try to do something, she pulls out this little notebook and just makes a little tick mark.
Little clipboard, and you can hear her, clicking her teeth to herself when she checks it off. Okay. But yeah, so this large catfolk comes in the room, and he looks back to probably back to you, Brad, and he asks, "Is this your daughter?"
It was my daughter.
Your daughter was a very formidable foe. It's impressive, or quite terrifying, that anyone could have felled her.
Where is your scroll?
It is supposed to be in the ruins somewhere. That's why I'm looking for these thieves.
Was there a super obvious pedestal or something that it was on that I could sort of point to?
Yeah, there is that pedestal in the middle of the room.
Okay, so Versailles would slowly point to the pedestal where the scroll case was, and he would just say, It would seem it has been taken. Those who have stolen your scroll were the ones who have killed my daughter. What did your scroll contain?
Can you make a quick deception check, Brad, for me?
Sure can. That's one of my specialties. That would be an 18
18.
total.
So he nods his head, and the scroll, I'm not sure entirely. I have not seen it yet. It was foretold that I would find it, and it would have great mysteries on it.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure, go ahead.
It's a total of an 18.
18. Yeah, with that, you're looking over this guy, and maybe it was before, because you were looking through your spidery eyes, you actually kind of recognize this guy in a sense, actually. He looks very familiar, and it takes you a moment. He looks kind of like Ty Turan, the chieftain of the Tabaxi clan that you're trying to help. And based on that role, you can determine he is genuinely looking for some thieves in these ruins, and he was generally in pursuit of this scroll.
So the other person that appears to have taken the poison, family, because there was another person, I think, that got the poison, and we figured out probably administered it.
Yeah, Robert said that he sold the poison to a catfolk called Ty Kron, who was living up here looking for a scroll that had been foretold to him that he would find near the ruins. And it happens to be that this Ty Kron is the nephew of Ty Turan, and most likely the next in line for succession, assuming his wife does not successfully give birth.
And so this guy could possibly be his nephew.
The family resemblance would definitely put it that way, because he looks very familiar to Ty Turan.
So I'm going to send that to in a message, a mental message, telepathic message to Brzee, and tell him that he looks vaguely familiar, like he could be the nephew.
So was it to me? Or the others?
Yeah, to you.
Hi. Yeah, after hearing that, Brzee would turn to the catfolk and just ask him, "What is your name?"
My name is Ty Kron. I am not from around here.
So that confirms it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's your guy.
What to do now that we know it's him.
He looks about the room again, and you can see his eyes lingering in some places about the room. And he looks back to you, and he asks, "How much have you searched the room so far?"
Does he mean, sorry, did you say ruins or room?
The room. You can tell he hasn't been in this room before. Obviously, the cat folks have been very hesitant to come so far in because they know the Mortem Walker lives in here somewhere. So he is not familiar with this room, and he asks you, have you searched it yet? The thieves might be lying in wait.
You may search. We have not found thieves or a scroll in our search, but feel free to look for yourself. We are only interested in killing those who have killed my daughter.
Zurum is thinking to himself, Virse, you might be getting a little too into character there. Because there's at least one thief behind this spider.
I thought you jumped into it.
Well, I climbed out of the back.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
I thought you guys were inside the spider. So.
Oh, wait, are we inside the spider? That was more of a joke. But
I'm behind a pillar.
Oh, you're behind a pillar.
Thanks for opening up our deaths, dude.
Verse is sitting here like, I'll just off them off, and then I get all the treasure myself. And
okay, so wait.
I thought you guys were inside the Mortem Walker.
So, I'm so sorry. I was.
We'll hit the rewind button real quick. So not Tali. Zurum is hiding behind the Mortem Walker right now, I think. Is that correct, Michael?
Yes, that was what I planned, though to be fair, I did say more as a joke, I'm going to leap and probably end up landing in its liver. But I didn't know if that was actually possible because I didn't think we had actually pierced the carapace that much.
I missed the liver thing, apparently. I was too focused on something else.
That was more of a joke. I meant that I would just sort of clamber my way behind it. But if there's a way that when I leap over it, I would like land inside of its innards, though that might be a horrible idea.
Yeah, there's probably not a good way to hide it in this corpse.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd want to do that anyway because it might kill me. But
yeah, you don't know what this thing's made out of. But Lanera is currently hiding behind the pedestal, actually, the one where the scroll was on.
Okay.
So that's where they're situated right now. So you can tell him he can search the room or not. That's up to you.
That's all good. I've got a backup plan. So he can search the room.
Okay, so all the jokes going through Zurum's head still stand. Oh, sorry.
I'll follow him as he searches.
Yeah, go ahead.
You, Verse, you hear me telling you, what are you doing? Trying to get us killed?
All the telepaths are yelling at Verse.
Can I message back, or is it only one way?
I believe it's only us to you or us to each other.
Yeah, the way that it's described is speak telepathically to any creature within 30 feet. The creature understands you only yeah, so it's only one way unless you have the ability to return it. We could only do it to one creature at a time, but it's voluntary, so.
So unless you have like message or something.
I'm just trying to think of how far away is the pedestal from where I would be right now?
It's maybe 20 feet, 20, 30 feet, somewhere around there.
Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I'm going to use, since I can, it doesn't matter if I change my minor illusion from my voice to, because he can't tell that I'm changing it. It's not a physical thing. So I'm going to cast minor illusion on the side of the pedestal that Lanera is hiding on. So on the other side of the pillar, that she's on, she'll see in writing as a minor illusion. I'm gaining his trust in common. I'm going to cast that on the other side of there, so only she can see that. And then switch the minor illusion once she's read it back to my voice.
All right. So, Lanera, you see a message appear on the pedestal next to you. It's "Don't worry, just trust me." I think it was, and
I said I'm gaining his trust.
Okay. And so I assume you have some sort of magic trick up your sleeve as Tychron comes around this pedestal, or what's the plan? I should put it that way.
So basically we've come up to where Lanera's hiding.
Yeah, you come up to the pedestal. Tychron is going to be searching around it. What's your plan?
Well, as soon as let's say he spots her, right? So what would his reaction be?
So seeing her, you're just going to let him see her, and go off of that?
Unless there's some way that she wants to try and escape out of there. It'd
be pretty difficult, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he sees her.
Yeah, this is not a Scooby-Doo chase.
Zoinkies! Just dance around the pillar for 5 hours. The pedestal. Yeah, he kind of comes over and just kind of like leans over the pedestal edge a little bit, and sees her down there and turns to you and says, "Perhaps this is one of our thieves."
And then Versailles would walk up and sort of put his hand in front of Tychron's chest to sort of push him back, and then he would say, "Let me see." And then he'll put his hand slowly on top of Lanera's head and sort of shake. His arm would sort of shake slightly as if he's trying to like read her mind or something like that, just pretending that he's got some sort of power to see if she or what she's thinking or anything like that. Eventually, after like a few moments, he stops and puts his hand down and like turns his head to Tychron and just says, "This one is not the thief." And then he would say to Lanera, "Speak. What brings you here?"
Well, I decided to go exploring. This seemed like a really dark, dank place. And it's been fun so far.
This is not the place for a child.
But seriously, this is awesome. I mean, it's dark. It's like there's spiders everywhere. Oh my God, my brother would be so insanely jealous. I was thinking about trying to grab one of the big ones, like the one over there, and maybe try to see if I could take it home to my brother. But it won't come with me. Can I have your spider? I mean, I would really like to take it home to my brother.
And as everybody turns back to look at the spider, it's now a halfling standing there, and I think it's time for him to talk to us. And I'm going to cast Charm Person on the Tabaxi.
Okay.
It's a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
DC 13 Wisdom saving throw. This will be interesting.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be combat.
Otherwise, everyone get your weapons out. You just see Zurum like pop out of the mouth of the Mortem Walker. What? You didn't say we were going to fight?
No, I would be in the Mortem Walker and be like, "Hey guys, I figured out how to poke its brain so I can move it like a giant spider suit."
Daughter, you're alive?
You hear hydraulics start up as. All right, he failed. So his eyes kind of go wide for a second. You know, he sees you, and his hand goes up to his sword, and then as you cast the spell, his hand comes back down, and he looks kind of dazed. Go for it.
Okay, so it is going to last for 1 hour, and it's not listed as concentration, but he is a friendly acquaintance of mine now.
Yeah.
And so I step forward and I say, you're the nephew of... You're in line to be the leader of the Tabaxi, aren't you?
That is true. Everyone knows it of my clan.
Of course, of course. I was just reaffirming it to my friends here. Please, these are my friends.
Hello. What are you doing in the Mortem Walker's mouth? Okay. Anyways.
Was that just a joke?
That's just a joke. Unless it wants
we
to be
decided
serious,
that's actually what happened. I don't know where in the Mortem Walker I am anymore. Zurm's just been climbing all around, apparently. Okay,
Yeah,
no.
so-
Zurm's not popping out, by the way. He is going to stay behind the Mortem Walker in case anything goes wrong. Because I can hear everything just fine.
Mm-hmm. I think you're the one with the scroll case, too, so...
Oh, am I?
I think you were the one who had it, because you filled it with poison.
Yes, I am. I remember this, yeah. No, I'm going to just sit right behind the thing, clutching my precious object. Oh, and is there anything valuable on the Mortem Walker?
You can maybe pull some of its teeth out. I don't know. That might be worth something.
No, well, that would require... What's that?
I took everything else. I grabbed a bunch of its teeth and some of its hide and stuff.
I won't worry about it. That's fine.
But yeah, he looks around at the rest of you and says, "Hello, friends of my friend." So,
out of character, I think Versailles needs a point of inspiration, if you don't mind, for leading us, helping us lead him into this.
Yeah,
that was a great idea.
Yeah, that was a great idea. Point of inspiration. I'll go for that. I put my stamp of approval on the point of inspiration. So it's a good role play.
So then, Tally is going to ask him. So the plan's in place. Then you're taking the throne by force, right?
And he looks puzzled at this. And what are you talking about?
Well, wasn't the, what did they call her? The,
what was her name?
The leader? Well, what was the term for her?
She's Ty Tehran's wife. I forget what her actual name is. I can pull it up in a second.
Well, your aunt is suffering from poison, right?
And you see this this look of kind of surprise and then a bit of terror on his face. That's got to be true.
Oh, it is true. I was able to inspect her myself, and the poison appears to link back to that beast there that we fell. And he points at the Mortem Walker.
And
that's a true statement, right?
At that point, Versailles, I mean, he's not going to try and kill you guys. So I guess at that point, he just sort of clicks his fingers and returns back to his normal form. Because you've just said you've killed his daughter, as in the cultist's daughter. So he's like, well, I'm not gonna attack you now. So I'll just go back to normal.
Well, he's charmed anyways. So
yeah, that's what I figured. Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he goes back to normal.
And Ty Kron looks over to the Mortem Walkers. But how did the Mortem Walker poison her from so far away? It's been here the entire time.
Well, that's where you come in. It appears the thieves that you're looking for are standing before you, because we've been sent here to find out who poisoned your aunt.
You cannot be thieves. You are good friends.
Exactly. So there's been a confusion here, and someone's told you a lie, correct?
A friend of mine, Robert, told me that there were thieves in here.
You trust Robert?
Good enough. He is good friend. He
He
said
also
someone.
knows charm.
He said someone stole something from him, and then was coming here to steal the scroll.
Ah, and he was the one that told us that you had bartered a deal with him for the poison.
Oh, I had done that.
You had done that.
Of course. It was interesting to examine.
Well, he's implying that you are the poisoner of your aunt.
Robert is good friend, but maybe not that good friend after all.
I think we might be embarking on a new friendship here, but
Oh, we are friends.
yes. But I think that what's even worse now is your aunt is gravely ill and is expected to pass, which would mean
This cannot be allowed to happen.
I agree.
What can we do?
We need to concoct an antidote for the poison.
Okay.
As a sage, I have the ability to, if I don't know some sort of information, I know where to obtain it from, whether that's a library or another sage or learned person.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know in this particular instance where we could obtain the information needed to make the antidote?
A good source, most likely, would be Tychron himself. He said he examined it, which if he's any kind of sage, not at all on your level, but he might know something about how to cure it.
Okay. Wait. So, what's the what was the king's name again?
Tychron.
Turon.
Turon.
Tychron. That's right. Turon.
There was an advisor named
Yes.
Ty Duro. They all start with Ty because it sounds cool.
So, Visay would turn to Telly and say, "We need to get the poison to Tychron. He may know how to concoct this antidote.
Oh.
Save
Sorry.
the queen."
Did I say Tychron? I should have said Tychron. This guy should know. Because he's the one who examined it because he had bought it. Sorry.
Oh, I thought
My
you meant
mistake.
take it back to the king.
I keep talking, using the wrong names for things.
Okay, let's recon that. So,
Rewind.
So we know I would know he's examined it.
He said he examined it.
Oh, okay. So then I would just stand there and say, "Zoram, come out," and because he's got the poison, obviously, so I want him to sort of come out with the case with the poison in it.
I do come out, and I immediately say, I'm thinking that the advisor is guilty. Just a hunch, as I approach Virsay with the tube. And before I hand it over, I'm like, how much are you willing to pay for it? Just kidding. Ha 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 ha. And then
We all kind of look at him like, what?
And Lanera brings out that little tick book. Tick mark.
I am. Zurum is genuinely surprised that no one just assumed that this was a joke, because apparently he doesn't understand that other people think he's a thief.
You have no humor.
Anyway, he's given he's handed it over.
Ty-Cron was the only one who chuckled at that. Everyone else looked at you. And he kind of like deep guttural cat lol chuckle.
I give him the old guns.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll mute my microphone now.
All right. So you hand him the scroll case? Okay. So he picks up the case, kind of looks it over just on the outside, his eyes peaked with curiosity, and he opens the inside, to see the dark, preserved tears in there.
Be careful with that, of course. You know that.
Yes. This poison is very dangerous. I had the chance to use it on a few creatures to examine the effects. It was quite dangerous. I'm afraid the only way to cure it would be with some magic. Magic and a little bit of understanding.
Well, it seems my friend Versailles here is very well versed in the books. I would imagine that we could probably put our minds together and concoct an antidote. Or at least we could try. Time is of the essence because, as I said, your aunt is very ill.
Yes. This poison is not forgiving. We should make haste.
Versailles would step to Ty-Cron and just say, I apologize for deceiving you earlier. We needed to know we could trust you. Aside from the poison, can you decipher these symbols on this scroll case?
And he looks at it. This probably is the scroll that was foretold to me. The one that I would meet in these ruins. The inscriptions. They talk of dark knowledge, forbidden secrets, and a power beyond this world. They have many warnings embedded into them. Do you know of this scroll?
Versailles sort of does a little bit of a gulp. And did you say in the last session, I can't remember, that the symbols on the case sort of matched some of the ones on the scroll that I have on me?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, okay, so he would sort of nervously walk over to his backpack, take a big deep breath, and slowly pull out, or he'd search for it and slowly pull out the scroll that he knows is probably dangerous, but his thirst for the knowledge of what it actually means is too much, and he has to sort of try and piece it all together. And so he brings it back over to Ty-Cron to see if he perhaps recognizes or can read the script and the symbols.
Ty-Cron would, offering it to him, he would delicately take it in his huge mitten-like hands, and he kind of looks at you for a second, and I have been looking for this scroll for 3 years. It was told to me by a shaman that I would find it in a ruin, or meet it near a ruin. It is funny, for it was not in the ruin. You have brought it here. That is odd. And he opens it and looks at it. And then kind of shakes his head. He seems to have this same desire as you to go after knowledge, but he quickly curls it back up and hands it back to you. Perhaps another time, my friend. But, as I have said before, perhaps we should make haste.
You're right. You're right. Let's go.
Well, to get the antidote, so can we figure it out here, or do we need to go somewhere? We need to go back to the Tabaxi lands.
How about we do this way? You guys can try to figure it out here. And
yep, let's do that.
We'll see what happens. Okay. So between the two of you, I'm going to need a Arcana roll from one of you and a Nature roll from the other one.
Right. So you've got Arcana then, yeah, Dave? I'm kidding. Okay.
Right. I'm all over that.
So these two kind of tuck away from the group and stick their heads together, talking. And Tycron, this huge figure, turns over to you, Lanera, and to you, Zurum, and kind of he kind of bends at the knees, so he gets kind of closer to like the mid range between your heights, between your heights. And he asks you, "Why were you hiding? Especially you, little girl." And he kind of pats your head.
That's not a little girl.
What are you talking about?
I look at him. Aren't you sweet?
This is a little cub. They are about this size, maybe bigger usually, but I hear that human cubs are smaller.
Yeah, well, this cub is 37 years old, so...
Cubs do not get to be 37 years old. They are not... This is confusing. What is wrong with you? Do you have a condition?
No. Have you heard of the halfling race?
Only in legend.
Oh, well, legend is no longer. I mean, here I am.
But is halfling like a type of condition? I never understood.
No.
They said small people, but... Yes,
we're smaller.
I never imagined it could be so tiny.
Well,
there are races that are smaller than us.
Just as you consider it normal for you to have hair from head to toe, we don't grow beyond a certain height.
Yes, you are a soft skin. This is true.
I mean, true. I'm only 3'1", but still, I look good for my age, so I'm gonna own it.
That is true. You are very mistakable for little girl.
Right. Okay. You go ahead and keep on going with that. And I'm gonna walk over to Tally and go, "What's up with this guy?"
He's Tabaxi, different customs.
Strange.
Yeah, but they think we're strange.
You are strange. You cook your meat before you eat it.
And I'm gonna start talking to Tally in the mine.
Roast all the flavor out of it.
Yeah, this guy really is a number.
He's a cat. Come on.
Yeah, well, cats are good to, kill mice. That's so good.
So how long has it been that we're sitting here studying this?
You two probably stick together for about 30 or so minutes talking about this, going over sort of spells. And after this time, I realized that you put your rolls into the chat and I had to look at it. After this time, how to put it? You determine that you think now, based off of your conversation and the changes that you would need to make, you could now use, I think it's lesser restoration, right? I think that's what you tried to use before. I think that was the spell you tried to use before to remove the poison. But you believe now you could perform that spell in a slight variation that could overcome this natural magic immunity that this poison has. So you think you're prepped now.
Okay, and as I realize that we're coming up on the hour, I ask him if I might inspect his blade, if I might see it more closely.
And
it's not offensive.
Yeah, he reaches up and there's this loud hissing sound as he takes it out of his sheath, and he kind of like thinks to hand it to you, but then thinks differently because this thing is like twice the size of you. Not quite that big, but
yeah.
He lays it on the pedestal and says, "This is prideful. It
Excellent.
has served me well. Do not touch it, you human. I see the look in your eye. Prideful is mine, not yours."
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just
please.
going to, before his charm is up, does he have anything valuable on him?
The most valuable thing you can see on him, one is this sword, because it is a pretty nice looking sword.
Yes.
The other thing is he has a emerald necklace, a very, very nice, well-fashioned emerald necklace that he keeps tied around on like a leather cord. But other than that, he's pretty Spartan.
Okay.
He looks kind of like the guy in the picture that I have in front of me.
Oh,
actually, he looks a lot like the guy in the picture that I have in front of me.
Possibly he looks just like that guy from the picture. So he has an emerald necklace, you say?
Yeah.
I am going to roll persuasion to get him to give that to me without question. Which this counts as stealing in my mind because he's not in his right mind. Therefore, it's not just me finagling something.
Well, the charm is technically toward me, so
you can try. This might be entertaining.
I'm going to persuade him. Just a second. Yes! The static. Okay, well, maybe. I just rolled a 19. Or with everything added to it.
With everything added. So as he kind of puts this blade down for you to examine, you ask him, that's a nice necklace you got there,
Oh, it's a beautiful necklace. Oh, you have no idea. I'm a connoisseur of gems, as it were. Usually gems that I don't own, like in museums and so forth. And do you mind if I check the carrot, or however that works with this emerald?
While he's talking to him, I'm going to drop the charm. So that right now, Zerum is actually, his ire is directed at Zerum, and I'm also standing on the opposite side of the pedestal where the sword is.
And he kind of looks kind of confused for a second. I don't think Charm Person puts any lingering... it knows that it's been charmed. Yeah, okay, he does. He does know immediately.
I mean, he's aware of everything that passed.
And, and he knows immediately that he has been magically affected at the end of the spell.
Right.
So the moment you ask him for this, I want to check the carrot on this emerald, he immediately grabs you by the front of your shirt and lifts you off the ground and roars in your face, "What have you done to me?"
I'm not going to answer. I am going to stab him with my rapier.
Hey. I'm going to be like, hey.
No.
Not in the heart, just like in the leg or something.
No.
Not
It's okay. It's okay.
Not in the heart, just in the spleen, you know.
I don't like being grabbed this way.
Don't make me cast whole person on you.
Oh God!
All right, make an attack roll.
And then the game ended in a TPK because we all PvP to it.
Before you can do
I
that,
knew Zoram was going to be the reason we die.
What? He's gonna kill me.
You
I
might
don't care if he's
deserve
going to
it.
kill me.
Anyways, Brad, you have something.
Is someone going to stop me? I am all for that, but
well, I'm
I
gonna
have
try.
to stab him.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna. So as I see you reaching for your rapier, I'm gonna roll my eyes and go, oh, don't make me do this, and then click my fingers, and I'm gonna cast sleep.
On me?
Oh no, it's not gonna work on you. Never mind. You're an elf. It's not gonna work.
Oh yeah, sleep might work on
that.
him though, which would
that would double it. It'd be like not only we charm him, then we put him to sleep.
Yeah, I forgot about the whole elven thing. Yeah, okay, never mind. Scrap that.
Okay.
Let's see it. Let's see what happens to you.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Okay.
There's no one close enough to physically stop you, so.
Or can I attempt to just persuade Zoram? Can I say
you
stop?
can.
Stop.
If you,
I don't know if I had enough time or not, but
this will be interesting. I'm curious.
Okay, I'm just gonna okay. Then instead of using the whole sleep thing, I'll just run in and try to put my hand. I was like, hey, stop, sort of thing. So I'll just roll a persuasion roll.
However you guys want to do it. This is player versus player. I have nothing to do with this.
Or you can tell us what we need to roll.
Well, if you want to do it. Persuasion, you can do persuasion, or you can just see how he reacts, or like I said, there's a lot of kind of openness in this.
Okay, well, from my point of view, I want to try and persuade him not to do it.
No, you want to try to intimidate him. I will hurt you. I will hurt you severely.
Oh, that won't work. I can tell you right now.
All right, well, I'm gonna roll persuasion.
All right, go for it.
Anyway, I don't know what Michael wants to do, but that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So that's hang on, what's my modifier? So that's a 24 total.
Oh. Okay, I'll play nice with you. But how do you want to do this pitch? And I'll tell you how or well, I guess it's if you're rolling a 24, meaning that I'm saying you are going to persuade me to not try to stab him. I actually don't know 100% what you would say to me. What were you thinking you would say? Sorry, I'm being all unsure about this.
Well, seeing as he probably only has a moment to sort of step in before you fully pull it out of its skin, he would just step in and put his hand on you and just say, "Zoram, please, no, stop." That's all he would do. He wouldn't really think about anything intricate to say to you. He would just be trying to stop you from stabbing.
As he says this, you become very aware that this huge cat-like person, his claws are very close to your neck, and it would probably be a bad idea to irritate him right now.
Zoram, well, so Zoram in his mind is thinking he does not care about that. Stupidly, sure, but he doesn't care about the fact that the cat has his things to his neck. But when Virsay puts his hand on him, something zips through his brain for a moment, and he sheaths the rapier. Just a little thought flies through his head that he's going to keep to himself, and he chooses to allow this to happen, and he doesn't make any movements.
And seeing this, this display, Tychron slowly puts Zoram back onto the ground, and he kind of puts his hand on his head, and then his second hand, and Was that all true, what you said?
We did not lie to you the whole time after we dropped our illusions. Everything that was past from the time that we took over your... I made friends with you, basically. So everything is true. I did inspect your aunt. She's dying. And Robert has accused you of being the one to plotting to kill her.
I did lie about saying that I liked you earlier.
Well, I was lying.
Thursday would just... First, I would give Zoram a little bit of a smack, like, stop it.
Well, I was lying when I said you are my friend. Anyways, I believe you, strange enough as it is. I do not think you would go through all of this just to talk about fanciful things. Though I do not 100% appreciate you being in my mind.
Well, wait. Point of clarification, he's kind of getting all halfling-y, and he's like, point of clarification, I was never in your mind. I just made friends with you and was truthful and honest with you the whole time. I, for myself, can speak that, and I believe all my friends were, well, except Zoram. He was honest about that. But in the end, we're just trying to help your tribe.
And Zoram does speak up and say, setting aside emerald necklaces and whatnot, that is really the only real reason that I'm still here, to help your tribe. You can take that how you want. Okay, specifically to help the woman who is pregnant, who you are related to. If we're being technical and honest here.
You see him reach over and take the hilt of his sword, and he's kind of looking at you, and then he just sheathes it. Anyways, I said already, we must make haste. Have you made your preparations?
I'm ready.
Did we finish an antidote?
Finish what?
Making an antidote.
You made a spellular antidote of some kind.
Okay.
Yeah, you successfully got that taken care of.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, Versailles would agree. He would just say, I believe we're ready to go, yes.
And you, little not girl, are you ready to go?
Yeah, sure. As long as I don't get near Zoram right now, I'm about ready to smack him.
We can share that sentiment.
Well, I'll just stand over here for now, seeing as y'all feel that way.
Good.
Oh, no.
You smell funny.
I'm pretty sure I'll get the opportunity, and remember, I got that tick book. How many times have you tried to kill us? I'm just saying.
He has tried to kill you multiple times?
By being...
Why do you keep him around?
Well, he is handy, but he's also stupid.
Oh,
I have a great personality, though.
Handy I can respect. Anyways.
Yes, this is all very, very nice. I love you both, too. Let's head out now, shall we?
And then I speak into Zoram's mind. There will be a reckoning for what you've done.
Repent ye, or sorry.
I turn around and give her the old guns as I walk out of the room backwards.
I would not go too far. My men are going to kill you if you go through that door without me. They might. I don't know. Let me go first.
Hey, Zoram, go ahead and go first. I mean, what?
Does he manage to catch me before I go out the door? I'm genuinely
You're
curious.
probably going to the hallway. There's a little hallway connecting the rooms, so
Okay, yeah.
he probably
I
catch you
won't
before you
leave
get all the way.
beforehand.
But Tychron says he feels worried about his aunt and all that stuff. So he says he will convey you himself back towards the clan. And so passing through, he gives some orders to, seemingly he's got 10 or 15 other catfolk in that other room that were waiting for him. And he gives some orders to them about what to do. And then he grabs some provisions real quick, and you guys begin the long, not really that treacherous, but jungle hacking, where you move back down south towards the clan. This is actually probably a good moment to take a quick short break. Good job not getting killed. I didn't know exactly how that was going to go, so could have been a little more entertaining. But we'll see what happens next time. Not next time, but when we come back. I don't know why I said next time. We're going to take a 5-minute break. See you all later.
Wishful thinking, maybe?
Wishful thinking. Next time. Well, we're already done. It's only been an hour and a half. Okay. But yeah, we're going to take a short break and see everyone in a little bit. returned. Mostly because I didn't do anything else besides go to the bathroom. So. Didn't really need to refill my water. Well, hey guys, how's it going?
I'm gonna test. I'm gonna test Firefly just to see if it works.
Okay, go for it.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. So, Michael, I might have accidentally bought a whole bunch of more magic cards.
Oh, I know. Your wallets just slipped.
Yeah, it disappeared.
And magic cards were bought.
Magic cards were bought. It was an accident to go by GameStop and look for them.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was a tragedy.
It's kind of like me accidentally buying more books.
Nisha. How could one not have more Nisha?
Well, I mean, eventually you run out of books that he wrote.
That's why you start making...
What happened to me?
You write books under a pseudonym of Nisha.
No,
So
no.
then there's more Nisha books in the world.
By the way, something like that. So wait, do you have... I think you told me this already. Do you have people who...
Play Magic
you
here?
play Magic with out there? Or?
No, this was in preparation for me coming home Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I come home soon. So.
You're coming home Tuesday. We'll need to hang out and stuff. Well, yeah, we already discussed this. I'm sorry. My brain's just in a fog. Like
that's what happens when you're slightly sick. And then you go nuts, and then you get behind on your homework, and then you fail your finals, and it's all bad, you know?
Fortunately, I don't have homework or finals. I just have my YouTube channel.
So you were sick, so you made a video supporting Ray, and then sorry.
No. I made the video supporting Ray, and in a non-connected manner.
And then you got sick because of karma. Okay, no.
I became a little bit sick because the devil knew that it was so true what I had said in the video, so that he just had to punish me for it. He's trying to keep me down, but it'll never work.
We should record one of our arguments over Ray sometime, mostly because my arguments are nonsensical usually, and you try to like actually argue the point.
I can't do otherwise.
And
I didn't see it as you being nonsensical.
Oh, sometimes I was. I just like make side jokes about. Anyway,
this is true. I just wasn't going to mention that, but
no, I have to get. I have to get some of that Ray controversy flack on my channel, you know. It's the cool thing to do nowadays, you know.
I'm waiting. Yeah, well, I'm waiting to see for when I'm curious to see, because I mean I only put it out a few days ago, so I'm kind of curious to see what people make of it over time. But I'm sort of suspecting that it just won't really pick up a whole lot of interest, which is, I mean, unfortunate, because it isn't really just about Ray. It's more about argumentation and
any luck
and aesthetics and stuff.
Nah, it gets to the same point. It just says like it starts to install. It says it's installed, verifying installation, but it just sort of sits and hangs there, and it just doesn't do anything. It's done it. I've done it on every single other browser that I have. So
computers, they're fun pieces of junk.
That's right.
I had to factory reset my tablet the other day because it stopped opening applications. It was fun.
My condolences.
Well, it wasn't that bad until it stopped opening my art application, which was the only thing I really cared about on my tablet.
Right.
And then I pummeled it to the ground until it respected my authority.
Do you have any idea why it stopped opening things? Or
because it's a piece of technology. It's its job to be obnoxious. I mean,
well, yeah, but
I don't know why.
specifically? Okay.
No. All I hoped was that factory reset would fix it, and it managed to do the job. So,
Go.
all right. Are we ready to continue? I'm trying to look around. All right. Okay. So this is the second time you've made this trip. First time you were coming north from the clan, and now you are headed south. Your route is a bit different, though. Tychron is leading you, and he seems to have not much more, but a more direct path, one that he maybe scoped out earlier, not something he's improvising. Traveling southward, Tychron gets a bit more friendlier with you guys, especially you, Zurum. He kind of had a bit of rage coming out of his magical charming. And once he got over that, he a little bit more friendlier, not quite as gritty.
That's a surprise and a relief.
But he's not going to give you the necklace.
Yeah, he's not giving you the necklace. Not quite that friendly. Yeah.
Dang it. Just kidding.
You ask for it again. No.
No, I do not ask for it again. Zurum's not that stupid.
He would tell you on the travels, though, that it was a gift to him from his friend, the advisor Ty Duro. And he enjoyed its presence and the symbol of camaraderie that he has between the advisor.
That doesn't seem to be strange, the way that he behaves.
Tychron?
Yeah, I'm asking this of him, like.
Asking of Ty Duro.
Just as an outward perspective, it sort of seemed that he was just a thought. It just seemed like maybe he's, well, I mean, just stepping back and looking at the situation, right? Your aunt's sick. Robert's involved somehow because Robert gave us certain information. Robert told you something. Robert was throwing you under the proverbial stagecoach and wanting us to basically kill you. Or go after you, at least. He sent you after us like we're thieves.
To be fair, you did steal his cloak.
Cloak?
Yeah, I'm shaking my leaf cloak, and I'm like, no, this would never have fit him. I don't know.
He looks over to the one Zurum's wearing.
Zurum,
just
so you know, Zurum quite legitimately is confused for a few moments. He's like, "What cloak? This is my cloak."
I steal so much stuff that I can't keep track of it all.
Exactly, but he is legitimate. But after a moment, he doesn't show it, but he does remember. But it takes him like probably a full minute to realize, oh yeah, this isn't actually my cloak.
No,
originally.
But Ty Duro, he is a good friend, and I mean that in a sincere way. He has the heart of the clan to think about. He does the things that is good for the clan. He is a smart man, a man of knowledge. He was my tutor when I was younger.
And does he always does what is best for the entire clan?
He does what he feels is best for the clan, yes. His judgment is normally sound. At least I would think so.
Has it ever been in the past that an individual has been a liability to the good of the clan? Food for thought.
Potentially. Our history is not normally written down, so liabilities are not spoken of.
Great. This is great. Great plan. I like it. It is very, very good idea. Really lowers the anxiety levels of the society.
Okay.
Did I miss something?
I don't know.
No, Zurum's just being somewhat uncharacteristically snarky, but he is doing it sarcastically. So I'm hoping that Tycron does not pick up on the sarcasm.
Oh,
Tycron picks you up from the front of the shirt. No.
You're like, gosh, dang it!
didn't we just defray this?
We did defray this. Zurum will shut up, but he is legit. Zurum doesn't really like Tycron very much, though he is glad that Tycron seems to have warmed up somewhat to him. Anyway.
Warmed up specifically because he recognizes you don't like him. No. So yeah, as you guys are nearing sort of that, I think it was a week-long travel. Tycron has carried provisions for all of you if you're lacking. He's a big guy. But it's near the end of that when you begin to hear in the distance the soft sound that slowly starts getting louder of running water. And as you guys begin to notice, Tycron, kind of nods. It's the river is close by. There is an old bridge that spans it. That is the fastest way to get back into the clan.
The last thing I'm going to say to him is, as far be it from me to suggest or anything of the matter, but you are in line to lead. And I'm no expert in leading, but from my understanding of cultures, a leader has to be wary of all those around them. It's an unfortunate side effect of being in charge. And I caution you this in relation to the advisor, and just be aware of this.
This is why I would never be a good leader. I am a little too trusting.
And maybe that's what he's hoping for.
Perhaps. Maybe, perhaps not. Anyways, to the bridge. We have haste, remember. So, as you guys travel, this sound of water gets louder and louder until eventually the trees kind of clear, and you see this large, very old stone bridge. It looks like it's been around probably as long as the ruins that you came from have been. It's ancient. There's a hunk of it kind of like missing from one of its sides halfway through that fell off years ago into the rushing water beneath. But this bridge, it's pretty wide. probably 10 or so people wide, and it goes about 100 or 120 feet across this this rushing river, or that's probably the right way to put it, river. But here, sitting on sort of one of the ledges of this stone bridge, you see a familiar figure. He's wearing, it's a catfolk. He's wearing long sage robes, and he has a staff, you know, laying next to him. It's Ty Duro, the advisor, sitting like he's been waiting, and he sees you guys come, and he kind of stands up in the middle of the bridge and waits for you guys to approach.
Can I do, maybe we're too far away, but can I do an insight check of some kind to see if I can get any kind of an indication of what he is waiting there for, or what his intent is?
Sure. Give me an insight check with disadvantage from your distance.
13.
13. He does appear to have been waiting for you guys particularly, and seeing you coming, it looks like there's something he wants to tell you guys, is probably the right way to put it.
There's something you want to tell us?
You say over the rushing river.
Yes. Like Dave said, just cut to the chase. Is he able to hear me at all, or do we have to like get up closer? Because I'm not sure how I feel about that.
He can hear you just barely, but he kind of like puts his hand to his ear, like, you know, points to the river, like, and he starts walking towards you to greet you.
Yeah. I shout out again, "Were you waiting for us?"
And he nods his head.
And what for?
He points to the river as he's walking closer.
Yeah. No, sir. I draw my sword, and I hold out my hand, and I'm like, no. You stop right there, right now.
Yep, he stops. This is another time that the rogue has drawn his blade.
Yes, it is. Zurum, there is no humor in Zurum's voice as he shouts out, "I know perfectly well that you can hear me just fine. Now you tell me why you're waiting for us and what's going on now."
And he raises his voice to talk above the river, because it is pretty loud. I'm not like pulling that one. That it's a loud river. He raises his voice, and you can hear, you know, just muffledly, "Wanted to warn you."
Of what, Bane? Sorry, I couldn't resist. Some levity.
You have figured me out. How terrible. Now I will have to remove you permanently. Okay.
Not as serious as yours, I'm afraid. Victory has defeated you, Zurum. Okay, you can continue now with the story.
And yeah, he shouts above the river again, "Tyteron's rage."
Okay.
His wife has died.
This is Zurum acting, by the way. Zurum is like, you can't hear what he's saying over the river, but it's probably not very pleasant. And
all the cuss words are bleeped out by the waterfall.
all of the Elvish. I don't know what words Elvish would use. I don't know. Not words I would use for sure. But and then the sword is sort of slack, and he says, he just cuts to the chase. He's like, "Did you do it?"
What are you talking about?
Did you kill the queen?
No.
Inside check.
Yeah, I saw that one coming. I saw the inside check coming. I was expecting that one. Oh, are we putting this in the chat? I don't have the chat open.
Zurum does not do an insight check. He is too distracted. He kind of his sword is in the one hand, and he sort of put it down a bit, and one hand is just rubbing his face. He's not even really looking at the guy anymore. He's just kind of like, God, why?
So Versailles, you've spent a lot of time studying people. And the Tai Duro is not a good liar at all. And he is lying on two parts, actually. One, the queen has not died yet, according to what you assume. And two, he's definitely irresponsible. And you get this feeling from him just by the expressions on his face.
Yeah, so Versailles sort of gets this feeling that he's not being entirely truthful, and angrily walks up towards him. You know, how dare he lie about the queen dying? It's pretty big to sort of lie about that sort of a thing. So he just struts right up to him, and he says, "Have you ever heard the term fire in the belly?"
What was that?
Say it one more time.
He walks up to Tai Duro and says, "Have you ever heard the phrase fire in the belly?"
And he kind of looks confused, and he looks a little wary of you. You know, he saw you kind of stalk forward, and he's, "No, I'm afraid I haven't."
And immediately, Versailles, his hand just becomes engulfed in flame, and he says, "Now, if you don't tell us the truth, you will know the meaning of this phrase." And I'm going to do an intimidation to get him to tell us the truth.
Go for it.
That is 15.
15. And yeah, he's scared of you, and you know he kind of takes a step back, and I did it. Yes, I did it. You weren't supposed to return. You weren't supposed to return. And I need you, Brad, to make a athletics or acrobatics check, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, that's a 9.
Okay. The rest of you who are standing a bit further back on the bridge, you see Versailles go forward, and you can't tell exactly what they're saying because of the muffling of the of this river, but you do see Versailles produce this flame, and Ty Duro kind of cowers at it. But then all of a sudden, you see Ty Kron bolt forward. He comes running with this intense speed, and you see his arm lash out and hit hit Versailles, and it sends him over to the missing part of the bridge. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, Brad.
17 on the die, so what's my dex? +2, so 19 total.
Yeah, the flame in your hand kind of dissipates as you get hit in the side, but you manage to grab onto the ledge as you come over, and you see Ty Kron standing above you. His sword is now out of its sheath. Pridefall is above you, and we're going to roll initiative.
Wait, so Ty Kron pulled out his sword?
Yeah, his sword is out. Pridefall is out.
He's defending
so
his.
both of them are fighting us.
Yeah, he's defending his master.
Oh, okay, I missed that part.
Mentor, yeah.
All right.
I knew I didn't like him.
I had the feeling that he wasn't, he was going to turn on us. All right. That is 20.
Awesome moment, by the way, Brad. I liked your intimidation. That was very nice.
Okay. Yes, very good.
And don't forget to use your inspiration if you guys have it.
Yeah, this last session, start burning through it.
Yeah, hey, actually, can I use my inspiration to you'll have to tell me what you'll be willing to let me do, but maybe I should just save it for when I actually do my attack. What I was thinking was to let it have me attack first so that I can run up and backstab Ty-Kron.
You can use it to give you advantage on any D20 roll. So I think you can use it to re-roll your initiative, but that's assuming you can get higher than a 16 again.
Yeah, no, I'll just wait till my turn.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Wow, that you guys literally put out the initiative in reverse order in the that's brilliant.
Yes, we did.
Except for I have to insert the other guys in here. Okay.
Michael, I think Versailles might be a INFJ as well, because I just had a feeling that Ty-Kron. I was going to say, can I turn around and see what Ty-Kron is sort of, how he's looking at?
I turned to look, and then I see the forearm in the face. Okay.
Yeah, I just had a feeling that was going to happen.
No, I think that would probably make complete sense too. I think that works out nicely.
So first up is Lanera. You have just seen Ty-Kron go dashing forward and knock your friend Versailles over into this ledge. You can just barely see his fingers like over the ledge, maybe slipping just a little bit as he tries to hold on. I actually want you to make a real quick an Arcana check if you have that or just straight up intelligence, either one.
Me? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 14.
14. Okay. So you can see at this distance the emerald necklace that is hanging around Tychron's neck is softly glowing, and you can see that same light emanating in his eyes. What do you want to do?
I don't want to kill him. I think what I want to do is divert his attention. At this point, I'm just going to throw a dart and try to get him, like, in the arm.
Go for it.
And I missed.
You have inspiration.
Burn the inspiration. Burn it all.
Okay.
We're going to be super inspired this...
Let's see. So then that's a 19.
19. 19 will hit, yeah.
Okay. So that is 2 points of regular, 3 points of piercing. And like I said, I'm aiming for the arm just to get his attention, maybe to divert it.
Yeah, you throw this dart and it goes flying and it pierces the the edge of his monstrous bicep, and you see his fur get matted with a splat of blood, and he turns, his head turns very quickly, almost inhumanly, kind of towards your direction, and you have gotten his attention. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I want to shout out that the necklace is controlling him.
I want everyone to make real quick perception checks to see if you can hear that over the pounding water and the beginning of combat.
Better yet, may I reverse that?
Oh, you may reverse it and use your mind thing.
Thank you. I'm going to use my mind.
All right. So you can quickly dish out the mind commands. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one. I'll give you one person if you're using your mind.
I'm going to tell Tally so Tally can tell the next person.
Okay, we're playing telephone.
We are playing telephone.
So Tally, you get the message in your mind. The amulet is controlling him. Verse, you are dangling above a torrential river. Tychron is above you with Pridefall. What do you want to do?
I want to get back on the bridge to safety.
Speaking's a free action, so I'm going to first tell Versailles the necklace is controlling him. Look at his eyes. Or just the necklace is controlling him. And then I pass. And then I would imagine that Lanera is going to share that with Zurum.
Okay. So we've telephoned it to everyone.
And whenever you do, Zurum is going to shout out, "You should have let me steal it!"
In an alternate dimension, you see Zurum stab Versailles' back with the dagger. Okay, no. How about give me an athletics check to try to get back up?
Was it athletics or acrobatics?
You can give me either or.
Okay.
I'm fine with either or.
In that case, that is a 16.
16 is enough. You managed to swing yourself back on and roll up onto your feet. That'll probably be your move. You can have an action still. I'll give you that.
Cool. In that case, yeah. So I get up, roll. I'm sort of imagining that if he's standing above me, I sort of pull myself up and like sort of just combat roll between his legs and get up behind him. And having that knowledge now that he's being controlled, I want to use sleep on him.
Sleep.
Or
Okay.
basically the area that he's in.
Go for it.
So let's just check. So I roll 5d8, basically.
Do you want to try to hit Ty Duro in that area? Or you just want to hit him?
No, I want to just make sure the guy that's being controlled isn't being controlled anymore, basically. We can deal with the other guy. So 5d8.
We can deal with the pipsqueak little mage. He can...
So that's 27, if that's enough. 27 HP.
27 is not enough. You cast this spell, and there's not really even much of an effect. There's not even like a lull in his mind. He is pretty hardy and healthy right now, and is above your level of spell power when it comes to this.
Oh, can I? Sorry, you can say no, but if I can I? Am I able to just instead cast that at second level to add?
You can if you want to.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Let's see. So 27 plus 36.
36. There's the slightest feint of him tiring, but he snaps out of it very quickly, shaking his head, as hair going everywhere. But he's fine.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay. Moving down the line, Azurum. Versay has managed to get his way back up, and attempted to put him to sleep. Not effective. What do you want to do? You're muted. Did I say Versay? Zurum. It's your turn, Zurum.
You're muted.
Yeah.
I forgot I was muted. Okay, thank you.
He just gave the most epic description ever, guys. And
hey, it was poetry, and now it's gone.
Now
like
it's gone.
Kubla Khan from Coleridge. It's too late. Anyway, so am I able to... thank you for believing in me, y'all. Okay, so would it be possible, instead of me doing a sneak attack, for me to do a sneak steal? Or not so much a steal, but...
you want to get this necklace.
Yeah, so is the necklace... How is the necklace tied? Like, is it just
tied with a leather cord?
A leather cord? Okay.
Like a leather rope almost, kind of. Pretty sturdy stuff.
Would it be possible for, instead of me doing a sneak attack where I stab him in the back, to attempt to do a sneak attack where I cut the cord? Like I get a knife underneath it.
You can try to do that. You're going to be rolling at disadvantage. You can use inspiration to make that normal.
I'm going to make that normal with my inspiration.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to get your sneak attack damage on it, but you can try to cut the cord, definitely.
Okay. Right. Sorry, just a second. 18 total.
18 will hit. Can you roll damage for me?
Oh, roll damage? Okay.
Yeah, roll damage for me.
Wait, just to cut the cord, you mean?
Yeah, to cut the cord. So your knife damage or whatever it is.
Right. 8.
8. Okay. You slip that knife up, but he moves a little too quickly. You do see, you cut like halfway through this very strong leather cord that they got there, but it is still on. But it's like hanging on by a thread. It's gonna fall off pretty soon if someone else were to land a hit on it. All right, so it is the catfolk's turn now. What all sorts of fun stuff do they have here? Okay, let me see. Micron is going to start swinging that massive greatsword he has, Pridefall. And I think the only people next to him are your two, Zurum and Verse. I think Lanera safely stayed back, and Tali hasn't acted yet, so he doesn't have a whole lot of options on this one. But let's see what happens. So with 2 massive swings, the first one is directed at Zurum, and it's going to hit, just cleaving into your side. And okay, so that is going to do 16 points of slashing damage, and I'm going to need you to make a charisma saving throw. And his second swing kind of goes back, trying to hit you, Verse, but it doesn't quite manage to get you. You manage to sort of back away and almost, slip back over the edge, but rewrite yourself and slip away from his swing range. All right. Oh, did you put that in the chat? Okay, 15. You're at 7 health? Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a rogue. You don't have any hit points. So, yeah, 15. When you get hit by this thing, you feel a very quick desire to run away from Tychron. Very quick, but you manage to shrug it off. There is some kind of magic on this weapon, and it almost affected you. And Ty Duro kind of runs forward, and I need you two again. I need you guys to both make Constitution saving throws.
Terribly sorry. Say that again.
Constitution saving throws. I know you're good at those, Zurum.
Yeah, as Dave wisely pointed out,
all right.
Here we go. Sorry.
Yeah. Brad, did you have a Constitution saving throw? Did I miss it? Was it the 4? Okay. All right. So both of you are going to take... Oh, I rolled this and then I forgot exactly what I rolled, so I'm going to have to roll them again now. Hopefully it's lower, because I remember it was high, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, you're lucky, Zurum. Both are you going to take 2 points of thunder damage. I rolled 2 1s. Yeah. And I need you I need you both to make dexterity saving throws. As this sort of wave emits from Ty Duro, and you feel the air come up from underneath your feet, and you get blasted back, and you're trying not to fall off the edge here. Oh, well, you guys are good at the dexterity saving throws. What's with this? All right, so you both go flying, and neither of you fall off the bridge. You manage to sort of catch yourselves and right yourselves. I'm not going to make you guys like hanging off of anything, but you manage to sort of, get yourselves situated and not go flipping over the edges anywhere. But it was close. So now, Tali, it's your turn. The commotion's going on. I don't want to try to sum that one up.
Okay, so Tali begins making these motions like clawing at the air. It's a real quick action, though, because as he does so, this bear form, the spiritual bear form, begins to emerge from his body as he places a spirit totem. And so all my allies within 60 feet get... you're going to get 5. You're going to get temporary hit points of 9 total, and you'll also get advantage on strength checks and saving throws while you're within the 60-foot radius of this bear. So,
Zerm needed that, so that's good.
Yeah, that's a bonus action. So, nobody's falling off the bridge right now?
No, they're all pretty good at the moment.
But we need to stop Ty, the advisor. And knowing that, he begins moving forward, and he's going to cast Hold Person on him. That's a DC 13. Let me check Hold Person.
DC 13. Might be con, but probably it's an like a
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. 13. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited.
He's a caster, so.
All right. He fails that.
So he is held in place for a minute. So he locks in place as I was moving, I was bringing my hands together and mumbling something, and I kind of like threw my hands forward, and these like green tendrils like flew from my hands and just sort of wrapped themselves around him quickly as he began to be rooted into place and just stopped, and then the vines and roots disappear.
Okay. Yep. All right. Very good. That removes the blaster out of the combat for a little bit. All right. Nice turn. Lanera, the advisor has now been tethered down, but Kron is still up and moving. What would you like to do?
Does Kron have his back to me, or how's he facing?
He's kind of, his side is to you at the moment. He's facing one of these. He's facing Zurum at the moment. He's kind of got his shoulder in your direction.
Okay, I'm gonna throw another dart to once again get his attention. That way, maybe Zurum can get that necklace off.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see here. So an 18.
18. 18 will definitely hit.
Okay. 3 points of regular and 3 points of piercing.
Very good. All right. So yeah, you hit him again, and he looks over in your direction. Verse, It's your turn. You just almost got blasted off of the bridge again. You had to sort of catch yourself on the remaining part of this ledge, and scramble back up to your feet. What would you like to do?
What is Ty Duro doing at the moment?
Ty Duro, it looks like he's about to attack someone. He's a bit distracted because there's a monk across the bridge throwing stuff at him. But he looks like he's about to swing at someone.
Is he within range of anybody, like within sort of 15 feet or anything?
Yeah, he's within 15 feet of you, and he's within 15 feet of Zurum.
Okay.
Just fireball Zurum. He'll forgive you.
He's gonna after he's basically been tricked and tossed off a bridge and come back up to his feet, and almost thrown off again. He's going to turn to Ty Duro and angrily march towards him, and he was just going to say, well, he's going to try and shout over the top of the water, "You will pay for this!" And then he uses minor illusion again to change his voice into almost this harsh dragon voice, and he just says, "Betrayal!" And he's going to use Thunder Wave to blow him back, not off the bridge, but just like smash him backwards off his feet.
Does Zurum have to make that Constitution save as well?
Well, I'm going to maneuver myself to where he's not within the...
Oh, you're no fun, Brad. Okay, very good.
Thanks.
I like my friends.
He failed that one. He rolled a natural 1, so he is getting knocked back.
And he takes 2d8 damage as well. So just
takes 2d8 thunder damage.
That is 13 thunder damage.
13. Very good. All right. So yeah, you emit this wave as you call him a betrayer, and it blasts out just, and he gets caught up in it and kind of does like when like Obi-Wan Kenobi gets hit with like the flamethrower in the Attack of the Clones. He kind of does that spiral flip thing, and lands on the ground.
And I'll use the rest of my. I don't know how close. If I was within 15 feet, then I must have some more movement left. So I'm just going to use it to keep marching towards him. Just like angrily marching towards him still.
Keep the pressure. Okay, very good.
Yep.
Zurum, it's your turn.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to steal the necklace. So I'm guessing I need to finish cutting the thong. But what I'm not planning on just it falling into the river. Zurum wants to actually grab the necklace around his neck and actually steal it.
Okay.
This is his plan. But first and foremost, I'm assuming he needs to finish cutting the thong.
Yeah.
So he is going to. I just do a roll for a normal attack to try to do that.
At disadvantage because it's a small thing on his body you're trying to hit very specifically. You can use inspiration to negate that if you have that. So
I used up my inspiration.
Okay.
Let's see here. 16?
16 is enough to hit it.
Yes!
Just barely.
Just barely. Okay, and 6 points of damage?
Oh, bother. So you cut another strip into it, and this thing is
How hard is this leather?
It's because it keeps moving. It's when I said it was holding on to a thread before, I guess I was wrong. It is really holding on to a thread by now. It has 2 cuts into it. It's barely in one piece. It's about to fall apart.
I don't actually yell this out to him, but more to my breath, I'm like, just let me steal from you. It's for your own good. I'm just like kind of leaping around him like a gadfly, like, please don't kill me while I'm trying to cut this thing.
Yeah. All right. Oh, boy. It's their turn. So you are the nearest target to him, Zurum. So
Of course I am.
Yeah, because you're trying to cut this off of him. He's going to take 2 swings at you. He's
Okay.
just prideful, taking 2 just lateral swings at you, and those are both going to hit.
Yeah, okay.
Medic.
Oh, boy.
Right. So that is... So bother.
I got an idea, though, but...
That will be 30 points of damage.
Okay.
As he takes both swings.
Now, you're going to have to tell me whether or not I can do this, because... So that let me just to officially calculate that. That would put me at... Sorry, I'm so bad. I was at 14 hit points, so that would put me at...
-16, which isn't enough to kill you, so it's going to put you back to 0.
Okay. But I am unconscious, and I'm
You are unconscious. Bleeding out.
So when he's swinging, will you allow me to grab at the emerald necklace so that I can fall from the bridge and yank it the rest of the way off?
You're going to fall off of the bridge?
I assume that would naturally happen.
I was not assuming. I thought you were going to fall on the bridge. But I will let you...
I'll fall on the bridge. That would still be...
I will let you try to yank it. Just make a straight up dexterity check. So just roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
Okay, just a second. 17.
17. So you guys see as Zurum just gets wailed on with this giant greatsword. 2 strikes across, his chest. And as he kind of like hits his knees and then falls sidewards, his hand reaches up and grabs the emerald medallion, and the weight of his body just falling backwards tears the last few shreds on it, and it comes loose from him, and Zurum falls to the ground, and he's right next to the ledge, precariously next to the ledge. And Ty Duro sees this happen, and immediately you can see the intense look of fear in his eyes as he realizes his greatest chess piece, his checkmate, has just slipped out of his fingers. And he casts a spell on the ground. You see these sharp sort of twigs and things grow out of the ground.
Isn't that the advisor?
Yeah, the advisor, Ty Duro. Did I say Ty Duro?
He's under hold person currently.
Oh, yeah. He has to make a check to try to escape. Sorry. Thank you. He does not escape. He's stuck. Tolly, what do you want to do? I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. I got ahead of myself. Yeah, it's anticlimactic.
Like, he's like, I'm going to do this thing. Oh, crap.
Oh, crap. Yeah. He's like, I'm trying to do this thing, and he tries to, like, gets his hands to move, but then he realizes he's stuck, and he's not able to get out, so.
It's like, bippity boppity. Oh, crap.
Yeah. He gets his hands up and starts doing it, and, like, the twigs start coming out of the bridge, and then more vines come up and, like, grab his wrists and yank him down. But, yeah, he is stuck. So we can probably assume... No, we probably should keep an initiative. Tally, what do you want to do?
Okay, did Zurum fall off the bridge?
No, he is like very precariously on the edge of the bridge. One strong gust of wind is going to knock him over.
It
And
was
the nephew-
a beautiful, almost death scene. The audience is in turmoil as to whether
Yeah.
Zurum, as I've fallen back and the camera is zoomed out. Anyway.
Tolly comes over and just kicks you off.
I'm not trained in kicking. I'll leave that to Lanera.
Lanera comes over and just kicks you on the gut, and you fall over. And there he goes.
Hey, I'm not that mean. Come on.
Your tick marks have been erased.
Well, no, I told him, I said, you get the necklace. That tick book is clean. And he did.
So he did get the necklace off?
Yes. I think Brigham
just
has
lost Brigham.
accidentally left the chat, though. Oh, there he is. But yes, I did yank the necklace off.
Okay.
With the weight of my body, I tore the last few threads. Brigham?
I lost connection there for a second. Keep going.
Cool. Okay. So seeing Zurum fall, I'm going to rush over there and lay my hands on him, and this greenish yellowish glow begins to emanate as you see like plant life start to sprout out and grow over him momentarily. He's not seeing this because it'll be gone when he wakes up, but I'm casting Cure Wounds, so that is going to be, I think it's 1d8. Yeah, 1d8 plus my spellcast modifier, so that's a total of 5 hit points back. Did you hear all that? So Zurum is healed 5 hit points.
Yep, you
So
are a
he's awake and
saint,
conscious.
sir. What's that?
So he's awake and conscious.
He is awake and conscious, and I don't see the cure wounds or anything.
I would imagine the plants fade away, but I'll leave that up to the DM.
Yeah, you probably see the lingering effects of it, and also Tolly's like there. He's like giving you CPR, kind of, not really, but you wake up just as he's kind of like taking his hands off of you, and this sort of green aura of plants and stuff fades away.
Oh no!
There's nothing to see here.
Oh, Zurum would be so proud. Just kidding. So wait, is it Zurum's turn in the initiative? I can't.
We can kind of de-initiative-wise here.
Okay.
You can drop things.
Zurum kind of wakes up, and the first thing that he does is he looks over and he sees the necklace is successfully in his hand, and he
actually roll a d20 for that.
Oh, roll a d20 for that?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
See where the necklace ended up.
Just a second. I got a 12.
Okay,
Just
yeah,
a
it's in your
straight-
hand.
It's a straight
Yeah,
d20.
it's in your hand.
Okay, it's in
Yeah,
my
I was
hand.
just checking something. Don't worry
I
about it.
look
It's in your
over just slightly. I see that it's in my hand, and as I wake up, and I'm going to very carefully pocket it, and it like almost unconsciously without even thinking. And then I'm going to turn to Tally and be like, thanks much.
Tally nods, and then you see him kind of, his eyes kind of squint for a second, but I'm sending a message to the nephew, and I say, you may want to hit him now, but we need to get to your aunt. In other words, don't attack the advisor. So I'm sending him a mental message.
Yeah, and looking over to see him, Tychron looks exceedingly. He looks infuriated, and he was about to turn around and start stomping towards Ty Duro, but he kind of steels himself and nods.
Are we out of initiative now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do what you want.
So I think with hold person, we can actually he's paralyzed for the duration as long as nobody hits it. So technically we could tie him up and gag him because it's not a violent action. Because I think if you hit the thing that's being held.
Yeah, I would allow that.
So I think we should. So this the nephew has men or other.
He didn't bring them with you guys. It's
okay,
just you guys.
So maybe we should quickly tie him up and like hog tie him so that we can have the nephew carry him. Gag him, especially because in case he tries to cast a spell. But I think it'd be funny if he comes walking in there carrying this guy like in a hog tie. And then we need to rush up to help his aunt.
Yeah, so you guys quickly knot this guy up, and Tychron easily lifts him with one hand. He just kind of drags him across the ground as you guys are walking. Obviously, not being very sympathetic to this friend of his.
Zurum is going to half sarcastically suggest with a bit of a wheezing voice, you know, you could dump him in the river and no one would be the wiser.
I think he deserves to face the wrath of their laws.
This is true, Tally. Always on top. Ow. Oh. As he slowly gets up.
So we're making haste, I guess, as Zurum is limping along, and I think that Versailles is pretty messed up too, right? You doing
Zurum,
all right?
I think was the only one who got hit that combat.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, I'm still on 28 hit points, so I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks to Tally. I'm just taking hits for the team.
Starts using a halfling for crutches, you know.
Yes. I'm using them both. I have my hands on their heads as they walk
Lanera's
along.
like, no, it's not happening.
It is not happening.
No,
As he puts his hand on my head, all of a sudden, take a dart out,
Stick his
sticks him in the hand.
He's like, ow!
And I look at him and go, no means no. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's bad.
Sorry, that was really bad and really corny.
So bad.
But bum. Okay.
All right. Yeah, making haste. You guys head off, and Tychron suggests to you, I can go to the hall of mine uncle. You should head off to my aunt.
We're already ahead of you, sir.
No, you are behind. You are limping. You are really quite slow right now.
Oh, shut up.
Why is your hand bleeding? What did you do to it? I did not cut you there. I remember. I did the diagonals across the chest.
Blood just gets everywhere, sir.
Okay. Anyways, I will see you soon. And he kind of goes off to head towards the. Brad just dropped. He goes up to head towards the hall of Tai Turan to bring Tai Duro before the court, or before Tai Turan. The rest of you quickly make your way towards the tree house that you remember that housed Tai Turan's wife. Making your way up. Just a second. I'm just checking to see if Brad getting back on. Wonder what happened. Computers, we love them. They're so intelligent.
He said something about trying to get his overlay up.
Oh.
There he is.
Recently?
He's in the chat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there we are. Finally gets the overlay for the last.
Yay!
Oh. So you guys quickly head off towards the treehouse that Tai Turan's wife is being held. And once you meet up the top there, you have to quickly remind the guards who you guys are, because there's a few guards posted outside, and why you're here before you're let in. Inside, you can see there's not commotion, but there's a bit of tension in the air, if that's the right way to put it. If you ask one of the servants in the room, particularly I think Zurum, you would have to ask what's going on. One of the servants would tell you that contractions have started, just barely. It's going to be a few hours, but things are on their way.
Of course they are. Of course they are. We need to administer the antidote soon. I don't know anything about how that would go down, so I'm stepping aside. But I can serve as translator. Oh, right. I guess you guys, contractions are starting. Baby's coming in a few hours. Yeah. Can I sit down, please? Thank you.
One of the servants brings you a little footstool thing that kind of works as a chair, and
I sit down and sort of just. I'm assuming. Well, yeah, we've treated everything.
All over you.
Oh yeah,
all the servants are looking at you nervously, like, what in the world happened?
I sit down. I sit down in the chair and I start thinking about my life. What are you guys going to do?
So I look to Versailles, and I believe we have to work in concert on this. I think you were saying we had to work in concert to cast multiple spells to...
Yeah, it's a variation of Lesser Restoration. So you guys got to work together just a little bit.
Okay. So the two of us began working at it, and, you know, between the two of us holding hands and chanting and doing some strange arcanic and divine, well, natural magic, I began, you know, moving my hands across her, and sort of, it's almost like we're casting back and forth, maybe this orb of something. He may be handing me, I don't know, he can describe it, but I would think that what I'm handing him is like a seed of some sort, and maybe he takes it and does something with it.
Yeah, I'm probably more doing the physical side of it. I'm not really versed in like divine healing magic or anything like that, so I'll probably be doing the more scientific, quote unquote, things like the seeds or any of the there's any leaves or balms or anything that we've made during our time trying to sort out the antidote, I'd be probably trying to apply all that sort of stuff to the queen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tally is standing. He probably propped up a stool or something so he could stand taller. He stole Zurum's stool, and
Zurum's just on the ground now.
I'm sprawled on the floor now. He just took the chair out, and I'm like, ow. And I'm just lying there.
And so, yeah, the seed was representative of magic, and so it's almost like as he's holding it, though, it begins to sprout life and magically, but it's illusory almost and spiritual almost, and he begins to spread it out like the soil and the leaves, and you see these like greenish light that's just kind of dropping onto her, and as he's moving his hands across her and not, touching her arms and maybe her legs, but not obtrusive, not too much, just and he ends it with him sort of touching his palm to her forehead and then wiping down her face gently, and then he kind of sits back and just kind of slumps.
Lanera, what do you do while this is all going on? Zurum is wiped out on the ground. These two are working their thing. What are you currently engaged in?
Well, since I don't really know, Lanera doesn't really know anything about childbirth, and she doesn't know anything about magic. She just, taking in the scene and making sure, nothing is amiss.
Just kind of a watchful eye over everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So as you two work,
I don't steal anything.
Well, there's that too. You do have a clean slate.
I do have a clean slate, and I'm not moving anywhere. So
he starts inching towards the cabinet. No, but as you
it's
two,
like Dr. Strangelove, my hand against my will slowly starts crawling like a spider towards something. Like,
I sense valuables in the nearby vicinity.
Senses valuables. Mein Führer. Okay, sorry.
But as you guys work on this, and at the end when you do the palm to forehead thing, sort of a vision, if that's the right way, opens up into your guys' minds. You're on a dark plane. It's flat, and it expands to infinity one way and to infinity the other way. And before you is this huge form that you can recognize as the Mortem Walker, standing above you. Its glowing eyes looking down on you. Its maw is sort of dripping with its acidic saliva. And you two are together looking up at it. And as you confront it, and this sort of green magical aura emanates from you, it tries to shrink away from you, but there's nowhere for it to go. It tries to escape you, but you've got your hold on it together. And then as you come back into the real world, you see from across her entire form, droplets come out of her sweaty fur, black, dark, blood-like droplets, and they come together, flowing towards you guys. And then carefully, as you sort of magically ball this poison up, you drop it into the scroll case with the rest, because although you can cure her of this, the poison really can't be removed from this world. It's a little too powerful to just be taken out of here. And you seal it up in the scroll case, and you immediately feel, all of you feel a peace about the room. The woman stops, she was sort of shaking before, like she had a bad fever. And she comes to rest and settles. And you just all feel at peace. It's very strange. And then you're very quickly ushered out of the room because you're not really supposed to be in here any longer. And they sort of, some of the servants pick Zurum up and, you know, drag him towards the door. Kind of gives him to you guys.
Zurum starts saying, "Oh, wait, am I going to heaven? What's going on? Did they do it? Did we all die?"
But as you guys leave the little tree hut, we're going to take a bit of a time jump. We're going to jump about 2 years into the future. You find yourselves together again. It's been a while. You'd all sort of parted ways after your little adventure, and after receiving your reward at the hands of Tai Tehran. You were gifted treasures, more than he even previously offered you. He opened his vaults of golden and ancient artifacts that he had found to you, and Zurum came out more than he said he was going to come out with, though no one actually talked about it. At least Zurum didn't. But you guys find yourselves together again. It's been 2 years. You were invited to come back, and you're in the hall of Tai Tehran. You're alone. The hall's empty, except for one other person. Tai Tehran is with you guys nearby. You met him after your incident at the tree hut, curing the poison. And he said that justice had been swift and absolute. Didn't talk anymore about what had happened with Tai Tehran. But you guys are now together after 2 years of this incident. And you were asked to come. You were not entirely certain why. It's kind of like before. But you showed up anyways. And Tai Tehran has been waiting for you. And when you arrive, he stands up and gives you a nice bow. "Welcome back, my friends. It has been a long time." I've heard that
730 days to be exact. 730 days and 5 hours and 3 minutes and, well, no matter.
Is this customary of the soft skin? I heard bowing was customary of the soft skin, so I tried it out, but I did not know that the time count was necessary.
No, that's just tally.
Tally likes to tally. Boom.
We're all
quite,
just funny tonight.
Witty of you, my friend. But you have become asked to come back for a special occasion. Not many get to be a part of this. Have you ever heard of the ceremony of long life?
What do I have?
You can roll a quick, it would be history check, I would think. Anyone who wants to roll it, or you can just say you don't know.
Nope, that's a 6.
I got a crit. So a natural 20.
16.
I'm not going to roll because I've got no bonuses for history.
So, both of you have spent some time with catfolk, both you, Zerum, and you, Tally. You've heard of this, vaguely speaking. It's a ceremony that is done for the next of heir when they survive to be 2, because it means that they're most likely they've gotten past the early illnesses of youth, and they're most likely going to survive. It's a ceremony of long life. And it's one to sort of ordain them into their role as a leader in the future. Go for it, Dave.
No, I was going to say Tally is excited about it, and he nods his head knowingly what it is, and he's familiar with the ceremony.
I imagine Tally and Zerum are just like, yeah, we know what that is. That's cool. And everyone else is like, what the? What are they talking about?
Yeah, Zerum, for a moment, there's a thought to himself, oh, I think there's some valuable relics that are involved in that. But a couple moments pass, and he's like, no, I'll leave that alone for now.
So yeah, to the others, Ty Kron explains the ceremony or the gist of it, and he adds in, a few people are invited to take part in this because they meant something to the new heir. It is rare that someone outside of the clan is invited to participate. Usually it is relatives and close friends. But although you haven't been around very much, we consider you close friends. And I genuinely mean that. I know half of the close friends I have mentioned have turned up to be backstabbers. But maybe you'll end up being backstabbers too. Guess we'll have to find out.
Why is everyone looking at me?
It is because you have a very nice haircut, my friend. It's a very good mane you have on your head.
Oh, thank
Anyways.
you. I got it styled recently from the money that you gave me.
Okay. That's a good choice.
But,
And
jokes aside, and Zerum kneels down on one knee for a moment, and he's like, it is an honor to be given really an honor at all, actually. So thank you.
And Ty Kron kind of nods his head, and it's, well, if it's worth anything, we would not be having this ceremony if it wasn't for you four. So, I think they are ready now. And you see coming into the room, Ty Turan, his wife, and a little catfolk cub, not very old. And they come in, and just as they come together with you guys, they have big smiles on their faces. The camera kind of pans out, and the doors of the hall close. And that is where we're going to end the 3-shot Preserved Tears. Thank you, everyone. Oh.
Excellent.
Thank you, everyone who's been watching or was potentially watching or will be watching in the future. I know I've had a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this. I enjoy playing with these guys. They always keep me on my toes, and I don't know whether or not they're going to die or live. And it's always fun to see them come out on top. So we're going to do some quick sign-offs, and then we're going to put Micheal to bed because it's late where he is. But starting from my left to right, Brad, we'll go back to you again. Just anything you want to put for a sign-off?
Yeah, well, that was a lot of fun. So thanks, Brigham, and thanks everyone else for playing and being awesome characters and awesome people. Had a lot of fun playing Versailles. It's my first spellcaster I've played, so it was a lot of fun learning all those mechanics as well. Yeah, no, it was awesome. I'm sure I'll see you all around again at some point. I'll probably post some games up in the coming weeks or so that I'm going to be running as well. So if you guys see those and want to jump in on them, they'll be on the ad tab page. Feel free to show interest, and maybe we'll have some more games together.
All right. Next on our list is Dave.
Definitely, I'd look forward to playing under Brad. That'd be a unique experience, and always look forward to playing with all different combinations. It's fun to see what we can concoct and what we can come together and create together. It's a lot of fun, and as such, it's been a pleasure playing with these folks and getting to know them more. And not that I don't know Yvonne very well, just almost 30 years.
Always a mystery. Always a mystery.
Right. But yeah, it's been great. And if you're so inclined, definitely check out my channel, Mornblade Gaming, and Michael's channel. Bflummy obviously has some other videos other than live plays, which are definitely worth your time. And a final thought: Absolute Tabletop official group on Facebook. A lot of great ideas, a lot of great games, good people, worth your time. All right, folks, that's me.
All right. Next down the line, we have Michael Pierce.
Dave said it all for me, really. I have a channel too. You can check it out if you want. It's been fun. It's been fun playing. I mean, I had a fun time playing this somewhat outrageous character. Unless I have been deceived, it seemed like you did enjoy him despite his antics. It was fun to keep things interesting and to play with you guys. So thank you.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Yvonne.
It was a grand adventure. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I enjoyed the antics that Dave and I started off with, and then getting to pick on Micheal some. That was, he kind of made it a little easy with the character, so that was great. Hopefully I didn't get a little bit too overboard with that. I apologize now afterwards if I did. But like I said, I had a great time. It was a good story, and thank you so much for running it. I appreciate it.
Yep. I enjoyed running this. It was just fun to try out a 3-shot. I don't know if people do things like this very often. The one shot that I ran with these guys, Bite of Extinction, was a lot of fun too, but I felt like we could do better if we had a bit more time. But hopefully I'll play with them in the future. I expect we will sometime. But for now, we're signing off, and have fun gaming. Yeah.